Yo, 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 this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. We do it like this every Friday, y'all. Now we do it every Friday. Me and my boy, Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps and more. We call it Legendary Connects, folks. We do this every Friday. He's on the phone. I'm live. And for some reason, my damn video is locking up. But we'll fix that. It'll come together for me. Hey, folks.
That's our 2023 plan, to unveil the new video screens and make it work.
I ain't mad at you, Doc. I'm waiting on Miss B to show up. Bring her red clay infested feet on the show and hang out with us for a while.
She's in the double Mississippi, trying to make sure that Brittany Griner is okay after her wonderful release this week.
Yeah, that's a good thing. She finally came home after all this trials and tribulations, and of course, somebody got something to say. You know, it's amazing.
Always got something to say.
People always got something to say. Ain't nobody. You can't get. I don't even think you can get a 80% happy no matter what. No matter what. The majority say you're always gonna find them assholes that's gonna say, you know what? What about homeboy? What about the guy that was nasty? Hold on. That's a different situation, okay? And he been there when your boy was running shit. Okay, y'all. His name ain't come out of Trump's mouth the whole time he was over there. When Trump was kissing up to Putin, wasn't nobody thinking about this dude. So I don't want to hear about.
When he was kissing Putin, he wasn't trying to release nobody.
Right. So I ain't mad. I'm glad to see the situation is coming to an end. I heard she touched down today. I believe it was. She finally touched down today, and she got to go through some medical examinations and all that kind of good stuff. But it looked like she's in good spirits. That's all that matters.
Exactly. You know, she had to get the tracks redone. Gonna have to get the nails and filed and the pedicure and the manicure and all the other cures, and she'll be okay.
It looked like she cut her braids off though.
That's what I just said. You got to do that once you get convicted, because a friend of mine told me who works on, as a CO, because they won't let women wear those because they could be used as a weapon.
Okay.
You can untie them, tie them together, and you start strangling people with them things. Remember, that synthetic hair, that ain't real hair. Well, I don't know which way, but that's what it was explained to me.
Well, you know what? That reminds me of having a Jerry curl. Jerry curl was a weapon too.
Yes, it was. You blind somebody.
Yeah, that Jerry curl juice get in your eye, you can't see shit. Okay. And you
that Jerry curl juice get on your pillow, you got problems.
I tell you, that's when I realized it was the problem, because you lay on the pillow and put your face on the pillow and rub your eyes, and that shit get in your eyes. Oh my God, it wakes you up.
It's all over.
That shit wakes you the fuck up. You wake up crying, eyes red, watering and shit. It's horrible. It's horrible.
When I watched Michael Jackson's hair go up in a flame, I said, that's not good for me. That is not good for me. There's no reason to put gasoline on my brain. I already got enough fire in my head.
Yeah.
No good.
You know, I was on the clubhouse, man. I got invited to a clubhouse, and they were talking about the N-word. Should we abolish
again?
That was today. Today, yeah. You know,
I got that invite, but I was in the midst of stuff. But go ahead.
I got the invite today, and I was making my breakfast this morning. I said, I'm gonna step in and see what's happening. And I listened for a while, and they had some brothers on there that really had some fantastic points, and some brothers that were very well read, that just understood the impact and the true meaning of what this word meant to others, what it meant to us, what it meant about us, the whole 9 yards. But it was just amazing at how many people wanted to defend the use at all costs. And I thought that was really wild, man, because even one young lady got on the call and says, "Why all you old players get on the call and want to school us?" I want to say, bitch, that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to leave you with some legacy, some understanding, help you get some shit you can't get in school. That's what old dudes supposed to do. But I got kind of frustrated, dude. I really got frustrated with the whole conversation, because it was like, when I thought about the whole conversation.
Watch it. Here we go.
After I got off the phone, let me get my organ. Hold on, man. Let me get my organ right quick.
Please.
After I got off the phone, the wrong organ. After I got off the phone,
there it is.
I started to realize that no place in the world is there any group of people discussing the use of the most derogatory word that can be used against them.
And what discussing of derogatory, yes.
Nobody else, no other group in the world is on a clubhouse call, a Zoom call, a meeting discussing the use of the most derogatory word ever been put to come together to describe a group of people. And I'm like, you know what?
No word in the world discussing our meteorological words that have been used for centuries and discussed to determine the outcome of our future. We're the only ones that can embrace it. We're the only ones that can embrace it. We're the only ones that embrace pig feet and chitlins, and that shit killed us like a summer gun. They gave us pig feet and chitlins, and we embraced that shit. You know that shit is bad for your goddamn heart, your cholesterol. Yeah. People know that. People know that, and they still chew on that shit. Okay, they still love it. Okay, so preach it.
It just made me realize that in some cases, if we were to come together as a people to kill the N-word,
come together,
it would be some folks, someplace, giving the word a seance, just to have.
Here's a seance. Here it is. Here it is.
Have a seance to bring it back. Okay.
Let me say, aunts.
And I'm just trying to excuse me, folks. I'm just trying to understand why, because let me say this. As a young man growing up in Compton, my daddy was a regular dude. That's why I get this regular dude attitude from. He would look at the liquor store sometime and see a bunch of winos. That's what we call it.
About my daddy.
That's what we had back in the day. We had winos back in the day. We had winos. Look at them niggas, man.
What is a wino?
Look at it. They ain't doing nothing with their lives, just drinking that shit. And, now folks smoke that shit or take that shit, whatever the case may be. But winos, my daddy was niggas. My daddy
seal that you crack on that bottle is a government seal.
Anyway, go ahead. My daddy from Mississippi, so he was just one generation out of a share from being a sharecropper. So he had a different perspective on the word. Okay. He had a different perspective. And I guess through his perspective came my perspective. Okay. And when he would see somebody doing something stupid, that's an ignorant nigga right there, boy. But he never. These words are ignorant. He's an ignorant. Ignorant. But he never. We never used that word in mixed company, which means white people. Okay. That was something that was confined to private conversations and amongst ourselves. And I think that's the problem that we're having right now, is that we have a word that is being used so commonly amongst ourselves. People think they have the right to use it as well, and all it does is cause conflict. If it didn't cause conflict, I might not care. But you know damn well if the wrong person call you that word, it's on. Okay, and everybody around you involved that see you whooping that person's ass gonna support you on that. Okay, but unless it's done inside the family, it's okay. But again, if it's done inside the family, you got to stay inside the house. It don't go out to the street. That's just like as a young man growing up in Compton. I had a pressing curl at one time.
Young man.
I had a pressing curl.
Pressing girlfriend.
And I dare not go outside. I dare not go outside wearing no goddamn no rollers in my hair. My sister couldn't go outside wearing no rollers in her hair.
You go, preacher. You taking it all the way across. Tell him, preacher. Tell him.
My sister couldn't come outside wearing no rollers in my hair, and my daddy was already ashamed of the fact that I was in the house with rollers in my hair trying to get my pressing curl on. So there's certain things that we learn to keep inside the house, and I think that's the part that this new generation might not understand. Yeah, the word ain't going nowhere because the mentality ain't going nowhere. The actions of a certain group ain't going nowhere. Like
slippers or house shoes.
Okay.
Slippers or house shoes.
They ain't going nowhere. Anyway. So it's just but again, where it's used, how it's used in records, nah, man, because I think we got free speech. That was the biggest concern. We have free speech. Yes, we do. Okay,
Freedom.
everybody got free speech, but everybody don't speak.
Freedom.
Everybody don't speak in the same terms when it comes to derogatory words of a certain culture. You ain't never heard a group. You ain't never heard a group called Caves with Attitude. You ain't never heard that certain things you ain't gonna hear. Period. But it's amazing that we can find justification in it and support those who do it. Like I said, if we killed the word today, somebody gonna get a seance and try to do their best to bring it back. So I said, I'll just say this: of all the Zoom podcasts, I bet you this. I will bet you. I told Lily, I will kiss your ass on Netflix if you can show me another group of people that's on a call trying to discuss whether or not to use the most derogatory word in the English language when it comes to black folks in a term as a term of endearment or in public or record, whatever the case may be. Nobody else does that.
Take me back.
Nobody else does that. Bernadette, how you doing, baby?
Nice. I'm doing good. You're looking good over there.
Yeah, I had to go do some lightweight pimping today, so I had to put on my, I don't need no money suit.
Big Daddy. Ooh.
Yeah.
How old are you?
6 feet, baby.
Okay.
I'm 6 feet tall.
Wait a minute.
But I'm 18
don't
inches,
interrupt the sermon.
Wide.
This ain't this. Look at this. Interrupting the sermon. Interrupting.
He's looking.
Who's in here?
Well, the preacher is looking good.
We got the organ music. Can he finish this up? Because I want to respond to the sermon. Go on, preacher.
We know what, Ms. B, just so you know, 2023, 2023, 2023, I'm going back to the old Lonzo. Okay?
Ooh.
The old Lonzo was clean every day. I mean, that's what I grew up in a different era. And I tried my best. And when I first closed the club, I was talking to a buddy of mine. And I was going to some hip hop events, and I had on tennis shoes and jeans and maybe a hoodie.
You know you're killing this using one thing. You already on 4 different other topics. But go ahead. I want to see what you want about me.
I'm just touching on Bernadette right quick. I'm gonna give it up.
Interrupt the sermon. You can come back to me.
I'm gonna
come back.
We got 2 more weeks before we can get to that.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Now let me get back. Let me respond to your ghetto fantasy.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm gonna call it, a ghetto fantasy.
What ghetto fantasy is that?
Okay, the ghetto fantasy is you gonna try to isolate, discuss, remove, intimidate, and let the word nigga destroy your cognizant and your consciousness. A word cannot destroy your consciousness. Because in the immortal words of Richard Pryor, that nigga's crazy. In the immortal words of Reverend Jesse Jackson, as he said in public, Town, take me back to Town. And the Jewish people got upset. And they actually made him recount his word. He said Town out loud. Now, when you're around a lot of Jewish people, they call themselves all kinds of words. Town and that was a reference to New York City. That's what they call Town. Take me back to Town. David made a joke about it on Saturday Night Live, and people were shaking. What we gonna do? So here's my thing about the word nigga. There was a group who you know very well had the N, the W, and the A as their name. See, what we love to do as people, because when you're lost, when you're not defined, when you don't understand, when you're bamboozled, hoodwinked, led amok, run astray, the word nigga becomes a problem. Then you say, well, the only way we can do that is we'll embrace it. Then when you, like you just said, oh, well, then the other side starts using it, feeling it's a free word. It's always been a free word. It's always been said. You can go back to watching the Jeffersons. George Jefferson called somebody nigga on his show. Red Fox used the word on Sanford and Son, nigga. It was one of those terms of unendearment that we became endeared to. We go to the comedy club, we laugh. We go to the rap show, we clap. We sing out loud. We go to the club and we call each other that. Women, children, grandparents, and we all celebrate that word. So there's two streets we walk on: rejection and exception. And acceptance, excuse me. The problem with the word is no one can define it. Is it N-I-G-G-A? Is it N-I-G-G-E-R? I mean, I took a class in college where they used, and I'll quote my professor. He said Jesus Christ was a nigger. Because if you look at what he did, his own people took him down for trying to save their moral and mortal existence. His final words on the cross were, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do." So how are we going to straighten that out in 2022, 2023? By we, as the seniors, expressing ourselves to the youth? They can't. They're still running around, talking about, he makes some sense. Maybe he does. But I don't choose to be judge or jury anymore. Because as I say, and I'm the only one with courage enough to raise my hand and say, I contributed to this ignorance. I wholeheartedly did. I played those videos. I hosted those concerts. I've said the word on this show and others. But I know what it means. I know what the root of the word means, from being negre, because that was a description of the color of our people from the Spanish people and the Portuguese who enslaved us, because they didn't know what to call us. They sure as hell weren't calling us black. Negre, by definition, means dark. So when you got over here to the Southern white aristocrat crackers, because they couldn't pronounce negre, they went to nigger, nigre. And then, as more and more you got backward, the more and more it slipped into nigger so easily. That's why we have so many people moving from the North Plantation to the Southern Plantation looking for freedom. That's why you have in Georgia, the Republican Party had a black man who didn't realize he didn't graduate the university. He said he did. You have a black man who said all abortions are bad, but he promoted 3 of them. You have a black man who said he's got a badge, so he must be a cop. Isn't that like giving a nigga a rope? Want to be a cowboy? We have a black man who nearly became a United States Senator. Well, Raphael Warnock, who took up the mantle after Martin Luther King, barely won that election. So when you say the word nigger, it's so universal to everything we've been talking about since 1619 or whatever the year was that we were dragged here and let go in Brooklyn, New York. Not let go, but taken off the ship to start our servitude, because they couldn't do it to the Native Americans. They couldn't do it to their own kind. So they gave it to us. And the only way we can understand who we are, so when you watch great programs like Roots or any of the other programs that deal with slavery, that's a common word. So when they try to modernize it and take that word out of the language, it's impossible, because it's a common word today in 2022.
Well, check this out. And
it is.
I agree with you, but
appreciate it.
But does that make it right?
It's not about right.
Wait.
It's not about right. That's the problem.
Can I finish?
Okay, please. But you asked the question.
Well, let me finish. The J word is the J word is not derogatory. There's nothing derogatory about that. It could be a race, it could be a religion, but you
what
can't.
Do you mean the J word?
The one that got Kanye in trouble. Okay.
What, Judaism? Jewish?
Hey man, I'm not. I don't even see. Here it is. We don't even feel comfortable saying the word on the air. Because,
I do because I know truth.
Okay,
the technical word they're trying to find is Hebrew.
Okay, hold on.
That's what Kanye, because Kanye cannot articulate.
Okay, hold on.
The difference.
Let me finish. We're trying to embrace it, make it our own, whatever the case may be, and it ain't working. It only works.
I'm trying to tell you where the embracing came from. When we started embracing it, it's the difference of Richard Pryor at his apex and Bill Cosby, who fought the word. And Richard Pryor discovered me using this word as common language because I grew up in a brothel. So that word was commonplace. So when I told my comedy stories, I spoke of my experience. Unfortunately, I didn't have the Cosby kids around me. I had people who did what they needed to do to make a buck and spoke the language that they were led to believe was common to them. And the thing is, because we took in the excellence bar and said that don't matter, that ain't nothing, why are you trying to put us down? Because it's how we as you speak. See, when that happens, those are people speaking who aren't raising kids. Because the thing is, then when you have that 3 or 4 year old coming out during Thanksgiving dinner and says, yo, mama, this nigga's at the door looking for you. Oh, he's so cute. Or the little girl runs up and says, Ma, you know, sometimes grandmas are such a bitch. And you always don't say that for the grandma like that. Grandma goes, fuck that little nigga. That's why the word is being used so easily.
And
there's no anger. Ooh, don't do that.
Dre, you're making my point.
But
you're making my point.
Supporting your point.
You're making my
point.
But
I'm trying to tell you why it's never going to stop.
Well, you know what?
Ever.
Maybe not in our lifetime. And me and my partner, Bam, we discussed. Me and Bam talked about that after the show. We both laughed. He said, "Why you get off?" Man, I said, "Man, I'm wasting my time." Okay. Few brothers, no matter what, few brothers understood the significance, but it was more people like fighting for the right to be niggas. And I ain't never understood that before. They fighting for the right to be niggas, and that's what it boils down to.
Fighting, no, but which nigga are they? NIGGAs?
I don't give a damn. You fight for the right. Understand this. You are fighting for the right to maintain that level of recognition. I'm not gonna call it ignorance. I'm not gonna call it a level of recognition.
It is ignorance because you don't understand the true pathology of where the word came from and why you feel so comfortable. Because come on, man, you my nigga. Come on, man, you my bigger nigga. What's up with that? Because that's our commonality. We always have the hit phrase. Now you are such of an age. You've lived through the growth of hip language. That hip language started way back before hip hop and rap music. Mm-hmm. That goes further back in the day from early swing, blues, scat rapping, you name it. Believe me, Ella Fitzgerald used the word nigga too. You just didn't hear it. Billie Holiday used the word nigga. Watch Lady Sings the Blues.
But come on,
this is not. It's not like it's never not been said.
I'm not saying it's never not been said, but I'm just saying nowadays people make records about about that one word, dude. They make records about it, man. And it's like,
and it started with the A,
ain't nobody,
the W, the A. You know that. I know that.
It started with
they celebrated the word.
They did.
How are you gonna knock folks? Here's the thing. Here's a difficult problem you have in your discussion. We're gonna try to isolate and eliminate that word that Ice Cube used like he's spreading butter on toast. You're gonna eliminate a word which Dre and Snoop use like pouring gin and juice. You're gonna try to advocate the non-use of that word when you have Will Smith who says, "No, I refuse to use that," and you call him soft, and you go after his character as being a grown man.
But that's the same problem we have with looking at people that go to college as being soft as opposed to a cat to go to penitentiary.
That's my point. That's
why are we stuck on our own degradation? Why are we stuck on our own? Why are we so focused?
Cool. If you watch the movie, Be Cool.
When John Travolta,
the Entertainer goes off.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
With John Travolta and Cedric the Entertainer and Harvey Keitel, and the Russian guy goes in there and calls Cedric the Entertainer a nigger. And he says, "You know what? How dare you?" And he breaks down. How dare you call me that? Because he's a college guy wearing a throwback, trying to be hip in rap music at the time. Perfect picture, perfect explanation of your argument. But if you go speak that to some of these folks you were dealing with on that phone, they don't even know the movie. They don't care. They do not care. And they have that right. That's what America's about. That's freedom of speech.
Okay, now dig this right here. Dre.
Unfortunately, we may not agree with it as you get older, as you start to bring grands up and great grands.
Dre.
Tupac said the word like he was brushing his teeth.
Dre, you got kids, right?
Yes.
How many kids you have?
4.
If your kids was tearing up your house and you didn't say nothing about it, your kids gonna tear up your house. Your house fall down to the ground. And at some point in time, somebody got to be the adult in the house and y'all sit your asses down. Y'all doing too much. Okay.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing. At some point in time, it ain't about the word. It's about the overall imagery that we are allowed to be projected about our people. The word is just one of the many things that we allow to be projected of our personal imagery as a group of people it keeps us at a low level of respect throughout the world.
Understood.
It's just wait.
Change that.
Let me finish my point, and I will talk to you about that. Okay, we had the word. We got the word. We got the mindset. We got the videos. We got all the stuff that's being perpetuated to our kids. And we get mad at somebody else for perpetuating it, but we don't say nothing because the kids are making money, which is the most counterproductive situation I've ever seen in my life. We get mad at the record companies for putting it out there, but we don't get mad at the artists for making it in the first place. Okay. Now, if you want something shut down, you always go after the money. Understand this. This is a capitalistic society. So if you start messing with the money, okay, start messing with the money, or the money, the interest in the money shifts. Okay, what I mean by that is the money don't care, the business don't care how they get more money, as long as they get more money. So, my point being, if you were making records and we started embracing records that had some positivity to it, or something that was uplifting, and they saw that trend was jumping up, was up and coming, they're gonna put money behind that. And if we stop supporting the money, the artists that do the negativity, they'll stop supporting that. They're only there for the money. They don't care if artists were able to take their creativity and create music that encouraged people, like back in the 80s, to go to college, just like they did when we had Bill Cosby and Another World on television. College, especially HBCUs. In a different world, my bad. A different world. HBCUs enrollment went up tremendously. College enrollment went up tremendously because we saw those images, and that was encouraging to a lot of people who had to make decisions. But when you see the same negative images and people are desensitizing you to gun use, drugs, whatever the case may be, then you wonder how every other week we got somebody dying or getting killed from the hip hop. Meanwhile, every time, we ought to stop the violence, but all we do is sing about violence, but it's jamming and somebody's getting paid for it. It's so counterproductive. It's ridiculous. How do you expect to have any growth? You can't. It's an oxymoron. It's like you trying to come up and stay down. You can't do that. You can't come up and stay down. You have to either come up or stay down. And this is why so many rappers from a street position get killed, because they come up in the financial situation and want to go back and hang down in the hood. Negro, it ain't gonna never work.
I'll go back.
It ain't gonna never work.
You there, please?
Go ahead.
Man, I'll go back to the Curtis 50 Cent Jackson book, who expresses about that too. That when he was coming up, you always try to go back in the hood and hang so you don't lose that support. But he realized you can't do that, because the same people that you think you're going and supporting, as he expressed, the reason the late great Jam Master Jay from Run DMC was killed is that Jay stayed in the hood, where Run and DMC left. They drove by at 80 miles an hour, but they didn't stay in the hood. Where Jay felt that's how he had to make the music and had to deliver to the audience. Remember, once we started flipping the music to not only telling the story of the hood, but then saying we have to celebrate it in our own special way, from Kool G Rap and Polo, from Nas and Street Dreams Are Made of This, and then you started profiting at an amount that was ridiculous, that's never been seen in the music business before, where you made a record for $2, and if the record sold, you made $20 million. So what's that going to tell everybody? I'm not going to do parents just don't understand. I'm going to do niggas just don't understand. And even Will Smith, when he became Will Smith, the rapper, he outsold himself because of what he was talking about. So the possibilities are for both sides, but you can never put a reality show on TV without that nonsense.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Will Smith only person probably could, if it was dollar for dollar, music and movies, Will Smith got everybody beat. We're not talking about side products. We're not talking about wine or liquor or clothing. We're talking about entertainment products, movies. Those two, movies and records. If it came down to it, Will Smith got everybody beat.
He's a global star,
and he's still living.
Global.
And he's still fucking living. Okay.
And he's about to put out another movie which is going to get him a Academy Award nomination.
So my point is,
I guarantee you, in that movie Emancipation, the word nigger is said more than once.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I plan to watch it this weekend. But on the other hand,
I guarantee you that.
On the other hand, brothers who never got their records even released are dead because they promoted a certain lifestyle. Don't nobody see that with me? Don't nobody see that with me?
The thing is, but hold on. That's what your point being made is absolutely true. Let's go rewind the tape again. And I'm not just going to keep blaming N.W.A. because they weren't the only ones. I can go through a litany of artists who got N-word happy because of the reaction when people bought the CDs, bought the cassettes, and when C. Dolores Tucker and company and Al Gore's wife put the PMRC on it and put the parental sticker on it, you sold records. So people went in the studio and purposely did what they wanted to do. The irony is Ice-T, who was cop killer, has been on TV longer than anybody else playing a cop.
That goes to show you it ain't nothing. It's all about the money.
It goes to show you that Ice-T, Ice Cube, was a fuck the police coming straight from the underground. His biggest movies, he played a cop.
Okay. So
the irony is, we want to say, look, let's put that word back in the comedy clubs, please, and leave it in the comedy clubs. let's put that word on the stage, but not on a record. So if you come to the show, you might get it to accent something, but it's not the dominant thing.
But here, check this out though.
But unfortunately,
check it out though.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Okay, but take this right here. It's amazing. You can get canceled for every goddamn thing else but that.
Because we have no power.
No, we
don't.
No power. Wait. Power is true enough. We don't have any power. We have no power. Wait.
People.
Okay, I understand that. But again, on the same token, we're not even trying to develop no goddamn power. You'll never have no power if you don't try to get no power.
Basketball court and wear the same sneakers, socks, and uniforms. We play individuals as a team.
If you don't try to get no power, you'll never have any power. And at some point in time, in order to get some power, you got to agree on something. We can't agree if this word going to be in the vocabulary. It's going to be in public. It's going to be strictly on certain kind of records. Again, Doc, this is the problem that only we have. Everybody else is progressing and moving right along. Hold on. Everybody else is surpassing us in financially. They're surpassing us in the neighborhoods, in the streets, in politics, in law enforcement. Meanwhile, we trying to figure out if we gonna be niggas or not. This don't make no goddamn sense.
We're trying to figure out if we.
The problem is you can't say those things without us getting offended.
Huh? So what now?
You can say those things about us and not get offended because we want to own and keep every aspect about ourselves.
It's the most confusing situation I've ever seen in my life. If somebody
it's not
else
confusing.
Wait. If somebody else said they lose their goddamn job. They lose their job. That's where it comes. Oh no, we can't tolerate that. You're out of here. Okay. But if we say it, it's okay. It's all right, no problem. It's a term of endearment, dude. I think that's a setup. That's a setup.
But that's why I went back to the Jesse Jackson comment of going to Hymietown.
They was on his ass too. They was on his ass.
Exactly.
Eddie Murphy did a skit on Saturday Night Live.
That's what I just said. I told you that.
They had shit.
The irony of that is that when you come to Hymietown, that's what they say. They say it themselves. They use what? Look, I was raised around a Jewish community. Boy, you don't want to know what they say to each other. I was raised around Italians and the other words they call each other, from Sicilians to mainlanders. Oh, yeah.
They don't make records about it, though, dude. They don't make records about it. They don't turn it into a public situation.
They don't make movies. They don't do any of that.
They don't do that. That's what I'm saying. That's the part.
But the thing is, we do that trying to say we have a right to do that.
They do too.
This is what we're trying to express.
They do too, but they choose not to. So what does that make us?
Because we are greedy capitalists.
No, we're not greedy. No. We're not. That's not our greed. It's somebody else.
That is our greed.
It's the benefit.
Because you want to get paid, so you want to reach as wide an audience. Again, back to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He made his bones in television explaining the drug game. That's how he did it. And everybody uses, it's in The Godfather that way. No, it's not. Because The Godfather and the Five Families was a secret society. They didn't want everyone knowing what they were doing. They were running the country quiet, underground. My mother grew up in Harlem. She used to tell stories about Harlem used to be so clean, you could eat off the street. But then some people came from the Southern Plantation and decided they were going to influence the way they wanted to do in Harlem. And it all went to pot because of money. You eliminate money from it, people ain't going to do it.
You can't pay certain groups enough money to do what we do for free.
Exactly. The thing is, we do it not only in the street, We do it in our religious orders.
What?
We do it in our churches. We do. We play this game. We try to act like, don't say nothing against the church. You don't know what they do for all of us. Oh, gosh, you're always trying to tear it down. But you're worshiping something that kept you enslaved. They burned your eyes. They ripped your tongue out if you read the Bible. Are you serious? And again, I'm not offer anybody to worship whoever they want, where they want, when they want, how they want. Nothing against it. But don't play the game of, every Sunday I go to church so I can repent. But on Monday, my legs are cocked wide open. We've been doing that for centuries, for survival. That's why we eat pig's feet. That's why we eat chitlins. That's why we have bacon out of control. That's why our diet is the way it is, because that's the scraps they fed us.
Old habits.
Period. This is the problem.
So
how do you convince children when you sit there and put them on a stage and clap loud when they get down on their hands and knees and start shaking their butt uncontrollably? That's what they called Elvis Presley. Oh, he's trying to do those naked dances when Elvis got all his inspiration from the black church. He snuck in the black churches and witnessed it. He was best friends with black people. We keep trying to act like, if we give it this word, it'll calm everything down.
Dude, hold on. Stop right there. It ain't just the word, it's the concept, it's the mindset.
It's our culture. When see the Lord's talk away.
Hold on, I ain't finished yet. Damn it, can I please finish?
Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. When C. Dolores Tucker and Reverend Al Sharpton went out there steamrolling CDs. What was that about? They were steamrolling Salt and Pepper just like they were steamrolling N.W.A. Just like they were steamrolling Public Enemy. Now you go out there, you try to take pictures with everybody like you weren't doing that. That's what you did. And then we have a false sense of history.
You know what?
That's why when I watch...
Here's the problem.
I'm done after this. That's why when I watch the induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they put Sylvia Robinson and her family up there about Sugar Hill, yes, you did put them records out, but you stole money from all them artists. And then you sit there and you bring KRS-One, Chuck D, and Ice-T out there praising them? Are you freaking kidding me? But that's what we do.
They gave R. Kelly an image award, goddammit. They gave R. Kelly an image award. As soon as he beat the case with the girl in the piss, they gave him an image award.
N.W.A. strategy. Freaking strategy.
Who does that to them? So when you say that word, we do it to ourselves for one reason and one reason only.
Here is
Money.
No, we don't get paid for slaying the word on a regular basis. Artists get paid for that shit. We don't make a quarter off.
Look like
we don't get paid for that.
Looking like money.
Who's that?
Oh, we look like money, but from what I understand, we don't get the money. You look like it though.
No. See, that's the whole trap. Where the trap comes in at, because they artists flash all this damn money, gold, jewelry, blah blah blah, guns, whatever the case may be, and that's the illusion that they paint for us, because that's only there for a day or two. A few people do live like that, but most people go home to apartments or houses that nowhere near what they had in the videos. Okay, and the problem I think has always been a problem, is that the people that they're appealing to don't have the ability to discern between the bullshit and the real shit. And that's been the problem from day one. I had a young lady one time tell me, I was at an interview in Compton, and I was doing an interview with a buddy of mine, and this little guy introduced me. Oh, he's Lonzo, record crew, N.W.A, Ice Cube. Oh, I love Ice Cube. He's such a gangster. I said, baby, what gang is he from? What gang is he from?
He's from the here.
Huh?
He's from the here.
And it took her about 5 minutes. He ain't for no gang, is he? I said, no. And see, this the difference. This the difference between what they did and what eventually started to evolve into this. I'm not justifying nothing. I'm not approving nothing. I'm just saying the difference. They told stories. They came out with a shock value.
I wanted to add that we
go ahead.
Shock value, and I wanted to add that we also do this. I don't know if y'all caught this because y'all are very intelligent men. We grew up getting picked on for acting white or thinking you smart. That's an insult, right? In our
that's something we did to ourselves. People have purposely failed tests or looked stupid just so they wouldn't get picked on. Okay, I was watching an episode of Atlanta last week. It was one episode, and I really felt this because I've seen it before in real life. Maybe not to this extreme, but I saw it. This young man, mom went to one of these discount stores, bought him a jersey. He wears it to school. Another young man has the same kind of jersey, and they started teasing him because one of y'all's jerseys is fake. Homeboy, whose mom bought him the jersey, he was sweating bullets all day long because he thought he did have the fake one. He started to ravel the whole 9 yards. The other guy had a real one, and he was convinced it was a real one. Then the dude's mom who bought the fake one, his big cousin came in and co-signed his cousin for having the real one. That everybody else started teasing the other dude for having a fake one. The kid with the real one, who was told it was a fake one, went home and killed himself.
What?
Okay, so when you got multiple minds, and this is some common shit. It was done in a movie. This shit happens all the time. You have youngsters who are told by their peers who don't know shit themselves that you ain't this, unless you do this right here. You ain't a real man unless you shoot somebody. You ain't a real man unless you hit this cat with this brick. You ain't a real man unless you do this, blah. You ain't a real woman. And next thing you know, they sitting up in goddamn court with their mamas and a public pretender trying to figure out how they gonna get them go to do this time before they get out before they get 25 years old. Taking a deal to get out of jail before they're 25. He only 14 or 15. So this is the problem. We have allowed certain things to be exposed to kids that shouldn't be exposed to kids. That's why you got a license. The license went from 16 to 18. Get a driver's license. You got to be 21 to get a doggone to drink liquor. Because if you give a 16-year-old or 14-year-old a bottle of Hennessy and the keys of your car, you're gonna see why they got shit like that. You're gonna see why they got limits like that. You got to be 18. You got to be 21. Because if you give a 14 or 15-year-old the keys of your car and a bottle of Hennessy, you got a recipe for disaster. And this is what we're dealing with right now. We got a lot of kids. They're not ready to deal with this shit yet. But the internet and the way music is being delivered now, because you no longer have music where parents can monitor. Parents can't monitor. Moms and pops can monitor a boom box because everybody heard what you was playing. Can't monitor these goddamn headphones. Right. Can't monitor these iPods, these earpods. Can't monitor that shit. So, and now the kids ain't buying the music. Ain't no album covers for mama to look at. Ain't shit for mama or pops to even investigate. Because all you know is the kid in the room that listen to this shit. And it's coming from a source that's so flowing. The algorithms just give you anything that fits these certain algorithms. So, and then the last but not least, probably the biggest problem, there's no counterparts. There's nothing. It's nothing to counter.
There's no balance.
There's no balance. Okay, you tell the kids they supposed to be healthy on an all sugar, all salt diet with no water, no nothing. All they drink. It's like that movie Idiocracy, where the whole country was convinced by a corporation that you got to put Gatorade or some kind of energy drink on everything. From water to people. Everybody got sick. The plants wouldn't grow because they're trying to water the plants with some kind of energy drink. And this knucklehead from another time frame came in and said, "Let's try some water." And he thought he was a goddamn genius. But it's the same thing. Our kids are being inundated with too much shit of one type, and they don't get no balance. So they can't make no decisions.
Can I co-sign for a second
Now,
with you?
go right ahead, Dak. I'm gonna kick back.
Okay, I appreciate that. Because here in New York, a 24-year police veteran was killed in a head-on collision where he was parked after saving a 3-year-old's life and driving them to the hospital. A 16-year-old kid with a learner's permit, 4 days old, in a new BMW M5, struck and killed him. Head-on collision. They just had the officer's funeral today, and they're not saying what's going to happen to this kid. He'll get off because we don't know if he's new, a migrant from this country, or his parents have been here and they gave him a brand new BMW 5 so he could feel, proud of himself, and he lost control of the car.
He wasn't ready for that.
All the time. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. This happens out here right now religiously, because you have so many parents who have had babies when they were children and feel, I'm not going to do that to my kid. My kid got a right to do this. My kid got a right to do that. They got 9 and 10-year-olds telling parents what to do. When we used to see that growing up, it used to be young white kids treating their parents like that. We're like, oh man, if we ever did that, my mother, my father, my grandparents, my neighbor would knock our heads off our shoulder. You don't have that now. You have multiple generations of children raising children. I repeat, multiple generations that cross all culture lines raising children. So when you ask for some sense of clarity, growth, maturity, balance, whoosh, gone. It's gone. And all you have to do is interject a little technology and tell everybody you can do what you want. As long as you got this technology, you can get away with this. And they do. They do. Because everybody got to get theirs. There's no, oh, this is an hour to do this. We need to set this down. You can't do this here. Don't do this there. That's gone. That's gone. I'm going to say something that's going to sound kind of funny, but it's the truth. I remember growing up, and Lonzo, you can attest to this, when you wanted to go see porn, you went to some theater. And I think it's stuck in. Am I correct?
Dude, I was talking about that today. Go ahead.
Hold on. But as the evolution of the process and the theaters disappeared to become the new multiplexes, video cassettes came on the market. And those things flew off the shelf behind the closed door. Behind the closed door. Then as it became more profitable, you go to your local video store, there was a section you walk down and they rent it to anybody. They ain't check your ID. Now let's fast forward to today. You don't even have that section. You don't have a video store. You flip your phone at 8 years old and you can pull porn up. And you got parents in their early 20s giving little kids 2 weeks out the womb an iPad because they don't know how to raise a child. Because how could you have a child raise a child? Even animals in the wild don't do that.
Hey.
But as human beings, and I'm not trying to say black, white, purple, green, or orange, I'm saying all. This is what we do. So I'm going to say one more thing and then you can jump on. I'm so tired that they let me try it again. Because the last time I lived the whole world of sin. I'm so tired that they think they know more now than they knew then. But I'm going to keep on fighting till I reach the highest ground. Thank you, Stevie Wonder. We don't have that anymore. No one's trying to get to the highest ground. They're trying to get money.
They're trying to get paid.
trying to get paid. So how you going to fight anything? As long as that injection of money is, I'll give you the perfect example again. Senator Warnock, less than 1 week, put the Democrats in control of the Senate, 51-49. And that bitch in Arizona flipped Friday and said, well, I'm going to be an independent. I ain't got a caucus. I'm going to do what I got to do because that's what I need to do. Bitch, you ran for your Senate seat in Arizona as a Democrat, and you calculated and waited and flipped. So you kept making it harder for Biden to stop winning. Because even Newt Gingrich said, stop criticizing this man. He's winning. But we don't care. We always vote against our own interests. So that's why we almost elected a werewolf, because he realized werewolves kill vampires. What kind of shit is that? But that's what we do. That's what we do. I yield the floor.
All right, folks, we got about 3.5 minutes left on the show today. As you can see, Dre and I both been doing some thinking and some talking and some investigating. And today was one of them days I just had to share this with y'all because it kind of bugged me today because I was on the call. I wasn't gonna get on the call. I got on the call and I got off the call because it was like I'd be wasting my time trying to not I'm gonna say save, rescue, or just trying to just hopefully open up some mind. Influence. Thank you, baby. Yeah, influence some folks, but they are so they're so hard. So many people are hardcore, solid, locked in to they got to have the word nigga. They got to have it. It's my crack. It's who I am. I'm like, are you really? That's what you really are. That's the best you can do.
Bro, you just said it earlier. We're so much on a fructose diet. Thank you, Monsanto. We're so much on a sugar high. Thank you, Monsanto. We're so much in, we gotta have that pig's feet. Because that's what we've been fed for 400 plus years. Now we're trying to say, let's go vegan, let's go this. But I can't, the taste, I gotta have that bacon taste. I can't stand it.
It was funny.
Because you're an addict.
It was funny.
We are addicts of culture.
I was doing my breakfast this morning when I listened to the call, and I just bought me some turkey bacon. And I like the texture of bacon. I like bacon on a burger. I don't when I realized that the health issues that came with pork bacon, I don't consume no pork products. I'm not Muslim. That's just a choice I made on my own. I watched my daddy die from a stroke. So the doctor told him to stop eating pork, and he didn't. And he stopped eating pork. Told him to stop eating pork and stop drinking and stop smoking cigarettes. That combination proved to be deadly to my dad, somebody I cared a lot about. And I just refused to put myself in a position that if I can make a difference, if I can see something that ain't right, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let it go. Okay. But it's just in McDonald's. I used to love Big Macs, man. I used to love Big Macs and fries, all that kind. I love that shit. Okay, as a kid growing up, that was my treat. And I realized it wasn't good for you. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Just keep it at 100.
Ain't nothing happy about a Happy Meal.
I'm gonna keep it 110 because that's the kind of dude I am. Every once in a while, I go get one. Maybe once every 6 months, just for the taste of it.
Yes.
Same.
I'm not gonna tell you.
We all do.
That's because every 6 months or so, if I want, because I'll go there and probably get me a fish sandwich or some fries, whatever. Every once in a while, you know what? I'm gonna give me a Big Mac today, just for the taste of it, and I won't touch it again for 6-7 months. So I'm not trying to make nobody perfect. I'm just saying that when you know certain things that are good for you, but they taste good to you, okay? There's some things
because it's already embedded in your psyche.
Right.
So can I make a New Year's Eve resolution?
You gotta hurry up.
I'm cutting you off again.
We're almost out of here.
I know, but 2 seconds. We're gonna talk about this next week. we're going to work on the Legendary Connect redirect. And I'm going to expand on that next week.
All right.
The Legendary Connect redirect. I just want to say 3 things. Congratulations, Reverend Warnock, for going back to the United States Senate as a representative of Georgia. Congratulations, Brittany Griner. You're back in the USA.
Are you going to congratulate Deion Sanders?
No, I'm not. Please.
All right, congratulations. You got it. I'm going to congratulate him. Good looking out, Doc. Do your thing, man. We'll talk about that next week, too. We got to go, folks.
Congratulate Deion Sanders. I did too. Go ahead, Bernadette. Please.
All right, folks. We're out here.
If I was Deion.
Godfather West Coast Hip Hop, Dr. Dre, Yo MTV Raps, and more. Bernadette in Mississippi. Everybody's screen is freezing up. I can't get out of here, folks. I don't know how to do this shit because ain't nobody moving. Here we go. In the meantime, I'm out of here, y'all. Thank y'all.